Good morning. How are you guys? Good. I see some smiling faces. Good. So my name is Miss Jen, and I work for Delaware Aerospace Education Foundation, or DASAF, as we like to call it. We like those shorter names. And you are here for the Imagine Your Story. We're going to imagine it from a scientist's point of view. Now, I know some of you were here in June when we did Billy Goat's Gruff. So this time we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to talk about Rapunzel. So when writing a story, it takes a lot of imagination, as you can imagine. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to write a story today and then not think about it. You got to use that imagination to write a story. So being a scientist also takes a lot of imagination. Writing to a storyteller is like engineering to a scientist. It's when a storyteller asks what if that a story starts to shape. When a scientist asks what if, it leads to a solution to a problem or a new invention that starts to take shape. So let's see if we can imagine or engineer a story from what we see in this picture. So if we look at this picture right here, I know last time we talked about some things in it, but who can think of a part of a story that goes with this picture? And I just lost everybody's faces. Hudson, you want to go? No? Okay.
What do you say?
Anybody? Haley or Kayla? Mark? There it is, Mark. I see your hand.
The knight that's on the bottom on the horse.
Yeah, what about him? What can you imagine? What is he doing?
He's like looking. He's looking at the elephant. He's holding up a book.
Okay.
Wait, he's holding up a book.
He's holding up a book. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? No? So let's see. I imagine that this tiger is reading a really good book on the jungle. What else can you imagine? Is it Haley?
Yeah. The right, I see a man climbing the beanstalk to see the donkey.
Okay, you imagine this man is climbing the beanstalk to see the donkey. Good. Anybody else? Is it Zachariah?
Yeah. I imagine you see on the bottom right, and then to the left, to the left one, I think the cat is reading a really good book that he doesn't see the mouse escaping.
That's a good one. I wouldn't have seen all that. You have good eyes. So you think that this mouse is the cat's reading a really good book, and he doesn't see the mouse trying to escape. Good. You guys have some great imaginations. Kayla?
I imagine that all these animals got in because they took over the castle and took over the library and got all the books.
Okay, so you imagine that all the animals got in because they took over the castle and the library. It's pretty good.
Yep.
And I see Rick said maybe it could be a world where the books are currency. So Rick, would these people be super rich? Because they have a lot of books? He's typing, hold on. Okay, so Timothy, do you think it would be all these people would be super rich? If all these books were currency, there's a lot of books here. Yeah, they would possibly be rich. Even, I think, who's got the most books? It looks like either the donkey or the dragon have the most books, so maybe they would be the richest people if the books were currency. I think it would be pretty awesome if the books were currency in today's world, because I have a lot of books. I'm sure you guys have a lot of books. These books are pretty awesome. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna read a story called Rapunzel, and then I'm gonna give you a challenge. Are you guys ready for it? All right. So here is our story. So first, before we even do anything, you have Rapunzel's up in her tower. So what would you see if you were in this scene? So what do you think Rapunzel is seeing right now? Kayla?
Maybe she's looking at maybe like a town below or something.
Okay, so maybe she's looking at a town below. Haley and Mark, did you guys want to share too, since your hands were up?
Yeah. I think she's looking at the ocean or the birds.
Okay, so she's looking at the ocean or the birds. Haley?
I agree with both of them that she may be like looking at the land below or what's up in the sky.
Okay, so the land below or what's up in the sky. Zechariah?
Maybe she is watching an airport and a bunch of airplanes.
Okay, so maybe she's watching an airport or a bunch of airplanes.
Birds trying to escape them.
Okay, and the birds are trying to get away from all those airplanes. I like your imagination, guys. Anybody else want to say what they think she's looking at?
Baby, 举手.
Go ahead. In the green shirt, your hands raised.
I think I was looking at the crowds.
You think she's looking at the crowds? All right. You guys are pretty awesome with your stuff. So we're going to read the story and actually see what she is looking at. So our story starts. And I think I skipped too many pages. Or, no. Okay, sorry. So in a faraway land not so long ago, a lovely girl named Rapunzel was locked away in a tall tower that had no stairway or door. A cruel old woman kept Rapunzel a prisoner, so the young girl never had the chance to experience any of the wonderful things the world had to offer. Rapunzel had beautiful, thick, long hair. Each day when the old woman brought food to her, she shouted, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your long hair." Then Rapunzel let her long, shiny hair trail down from the window, and the old woman climbed up. Of course, Rapunzel had never been to school. In fact, she didn't even have the slightest idea what a school was. The poor girl did not have any friends either. She had no one to play with or share secrets with, no one at all. Rapunzel may have been the loneliest girl in the world. To pass the time during her long, solitary days, she sat in the tower and sang songs that she made up. Rapunzel sang like a bird, and her songs were quite charming. One day, as Rapunzel was singing one of her delightful songs, a young prince walked by. He was enchanted by her singing, and he longed to meet the girl who sang so sweetly. So the prince waited, and after a while, the old woman came to the tower with Rapunzel's food. As usual, she shouted, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your long hair." And the prince was amazed as Rapunzel let down her hair to lift the old woman. After the old woman left, the prince yelled the very same words. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your long hair." So Rapunzel let her long, thick hair, and the prince let down her long, thick hair, and the prince climbed up. Rapunzel was most curious to know who this young man was. "Who are you?" Rapunzel asked the prince as the prince reached the window. "How did you find me?" "I am Prince Raphael," replied the prince. I was walking along and heard your sweet song. The song was beautiful, and so was your voice. Rapunzel and Prince Raphael talked for many hours. He told her all about school and described it as a place where young people learned how to read and write and live in the world. He explained what it meant to have friends, too. School sounds so marvelous, cried Rapunzel. I have always been curious about the world, and I am eager to learn. It would also be wonderful to have friends to talk with and have fun. After the prince left, Rapunzel thought, I wish I could go to school and have friends. So she came up with an escape plan. First, she cut off her hair. Next, she tied one end to the bed and dropped the other end out the window, and down she went. Rapunzel walked away from the tower as fast as she could. She continued walking until she reached the castle where the prince lived. Rapunzel's heart was beating rapidly as she knocked on the door. Of course, the prince was overjoyed to see her. Prince Raphael's parents loved Rapunzel at once and invited her to live with them. Before long, her 2 wishes came true. Rapunzel went to school with the prince and learned about the world. She also made new friends to talk, sing, and play with. So what happened in this story? Anybody want to summarize what happened in the story? Mark?
So first, Rapunzel was lonely. She didn't have any friends, and then the prince got her to get out of the tower, and he took her to school.
And she got her 2 wishes.
Good. So she ended up getting her 2 wishes. She ended up going to school and she ended up making friends. So Timothy says, wouldn't Rapunzel fall down from that much weight on her hair? So this is actually a fairy tale. So they are, or kind of like a fantasy story. So it's things that don't really happen in real life. So there are things that we look at that make you happy. They're usually good fairy tales, but they don't always happen in real life. So if in real life, if somebody was to climb up your hair, it would hurt a lot and it would probably fall out. But in this case, because it's a fantasy, that's kind of how it works. So here is what we are going to do. So we need your help to help the prince rescue Rapunzel. But before we can start, we're going to learn about how to construct stronger buildings. So we're going to watch a short little video about making stronger buildings.
Hi, I'm Melanie and I'm a civil engineer and I work for Crossrail. Today I'm going to talk to you about really tall buildings and how you can make them earthquake proof. In places like Japan, they're running out of space, so the engineers there have to build the buildings really tall, but there's a hidden danger, and that's earthquakes. So it's really important that they design the buildings against this. One of the ways they can do that is by making really big, strong foundations. So I'm just going to show you now the differences between buildings with no foundations and buildings with a good foundation. You can try this yourself at home. You just need to get some paper cups. So you can just place the cups one on top of each other like this. You can do the building as tall as you like. As you can see, if I shake this, simulating an earthquake, all the cups fall over. That's because they only had the same width of the building was the foundation. So that's a really bad foundation. So you can't build a very tall building if you have that. However, if you make the foundation a bit bigger, maybe by using 3 cups, it will be able to withstand a little bit more force. However, this building still won't be very good and it still might topple over a bit. You can see. But whereas before the whole building fell over, you can see that the foundation has kept the first layer on. So the best building and the best tower, if you want to build a tall tower, would have a really big base where you can put as many of these cups out as you like. I'm sure you've all done this at home with building blocks before. The idea is you just need to build up the layers, and as you can see, each layer is really wide and really strong. And then at the top. So if I shake this, you can see it all stays together. So this would make a really good building in an earthquake zone. Quite often with foundations, you won't see them when you're walking along the street because they're underneath the ground. So as you can imagine, the ground level's about here. So next time you're walking around in the city, think about what's under your feet.
All right. So some of our friends actually couldn't see the video. So does somebody want to summarize kind of what happened in the video? Go ahead, Mark. I saw your hand.
So she was making a tower that out of paper cups, and she made the tower like she just stacked them on top. But when she wiggled it, it fell down. She made a bigger base and then made small bases as she went up. And then it didn't awful.
Good. So kind of what she did is the smaller her base, the easier it was to fall over. So the video kind of showed that the bigger your base, the stronger your tower is going to be. Okay. So here is our challenge. Oops. So we need your help to help the prince rescue Rapunzel. So using 5 sheets of paper and tape, what is the tallest tower that you can build that can hold Rapunzel's long hair without toppling over? So what I need is you guys are gonna get 5 pieces of paper. It can be recycled paper, okay? We love recycling, but you need 5 pieces of paper. You can have some scissors if you wanna cut up your paper, some tape. You can use any kind of tape. You're gonna need some kind of string to act as Rapunzel's hair. And you're gonna try and build the tallest tower you can using all 5 pieces of paper. But here's the trick. If you cut your paper, you have to use all the pieces, okay? So I can't cut my paper and only use part of it. I have to use all 5 total pieces of paper, okay? So we are going to give you 15 minutes to build the tallest tower using only 5 sheets of paper and tape, and the paper can be cut, but all pieces must be used, and it must hold Rapunzel's hair without falling over. You think you guys can do it? I think you can. So let's see what you can do in 15 minutes. Whoop. If my timer wants to start. There we go.
Right. We almost finished. Well, we're done.
Okay, if you're done, that's cool. We're gonna give some people a little bit more time to see if they can build one too. I see a lot of you guys working really hard.
才2张而已，现在。
要剪刀。
为什么要剪刀啊？他说如果你用剪刀的话，你都要用哦。
我知道，我可以。 flat.
把固定在这里。你要位置的话，你坐妹妹那个位置吧。
对，
妹妹，你跟哥哥换下位置，哥哥需要折东西。
都捞起来的。
不要剪到书桌还。一点，你走吧，你不要在这边。啊，走开，走开。
And as you do finish up your tower, make sure you test it to see if it can hold Rapunzel's hair.
我没有这个。
我有2个东西可以做，一个是这个，这个很 heavy， 这个很 heavy， 可能不行啊。你先把刀给我做好，来看看还有什么东西适合做乳房后面。为什么没有声音了？把 video 弄出来，李轩。
我刷点 tape。拍片。
然后呢，这是干什么？你还有一张纸啊？为什么要一个这个下面这个？
对，我要剪。
你现在干嘛啦？
我把这个小part就放在这里。
为什么要剪它？这个是上面的掏耳，是不是？ 这样他哪站得住？
我看多也是我要把配，要把自己的游戏。
Ooh, I see some really tall towers. You guys are working hard. I like it.
Hey. I can.
这样子怎么演啊？
我下去了。可以把我的一粒给我。
那还有一张纸啊。
把这个扣啊。
对啊，你应该要粘在上面啊，这样才会真的搞满啊。这样子才是个 tower 嘛。
谁不会的吗？快 fall over 这里。有点太高了啊。
那个不用在那里啦，那个你弄到最上面去好吗？
不要这里。
对，这边先把这个粘起来，来，先把这个粘起
All
来。
right, you guys got about 6 minutes left before we share. Hopefully you're not running into the same problem I am. My tower keeps falling over.
好有点。然后这里是这里。
哎，
我觉得我拿 over 的。
我觉得它应该在上面这个小的号子呢。来，一下，你手先放开，上面帮我这边要粘起来，不然它会pop open。拿一节来。
它在吹下，
不要动，你不要动，
不会那么高。
现在有没有很好？因为你没有贴好，你应该要再贴一个在下面。
因为这里
I don't know， 啊，你这边没有贴。
我在看我在那里。这里还需要卡片。
放那个不会让它比较不容易倒一圈，你只要观察，不要贴在那里没有用。
没有用。
你自己看嘛，你看你没有看，你手走开，你放手的时候，这个一点用都没有。OK。
I got before you take this, let's take this. That's the whole point of this part of the paper.
换一边，但是上面太重了，还是没有用。This one doesn't, it's not going to do anything. 你想要让它厚的，最好的方法就是你中间剪一个小洞，让它 stay there， 然后你再把它 tape 起来。
How do you do that?
你这边刚刚已经折过了，先把那个拿起来，那个待会再用。只要剪一点点就可以了。
我也不要太
多，再剪一点点。
我也要剪bulb。
把它塞进来，轻轻的塞进来。快点，轻轻的，
Sorry， 小点这边，
大点的边，大点的边。
然后会需要大
Yeah,
一
some
点。
really tall towers. Some towers are taller than some of you guys.
算了，你这个不够 strong， 那边。然后拿那个 tape 来把它 tape 起来。
So you're stupid. Just stick around, right?
对啊。再多贴几个啊。
It's okay.
另外一边也要贴啊。
还有啊，
哎呀，你扶着，我来贴。
有事要说一下。
你贴上面干嘛？你这下面不稳嘛。
啊，我说了一点，我这非常，他就是放在这里吧。
以后就做之前，等一下，做事情前拉屎呀。
Tape round.
Tape around where?
Here.
And a little more than a minute. It's okay if you're not done in a minute. We're just gonna let some people start sharing.
你放手看看它往哪里打。因为你的下面这个 space 太低了。你手放开。
这边。后边啊，啊，我在后边啊，
怎么在后边？
嗯，
不用动我的荧幕，不要，李轩，你又没有开起来，你不要一直动我的荧幕，把这个移过去就好了。嗯。荧幕开起来，你声音有没有荧幕很奇怪，李轩。
Right. So we are going to share some of our towers. I'm going to share mine first. It doesn't fall over in the process. Well, it fell. So mine did stand for a little bit. It did have Rapunzel's hair on it. So I have, so mine does not meet the challenge. It keeps falling over. But I had a pretty big base, kind of made a square. And then I had two triangles next to each other as a second layer. And then I had a single triangle. And then I put the top piece on like this. And it held Rapunzel's hair for a little bit until it just fell over. So hopefully yours meet the challenge. So who wants to share theirs? So if you have never done a Mad-Lib before,
Okay.
you kind of fill in the blanks with the words that are specified below the blank, but you don't read the sentences. You just fill in the blanks. So we need to know that a noun is a person, place, or thing. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. So it could be pretty, friendly, huge, scared, tall. A verb is an action word. So jump, run, dancing. And a past tense verb means it already happened. So it usually ends in EDs like push, but it could also be hit or found. So we're going to actually fill these in together. I'm going to make this a little, there we go. Make it a little smaller so that we can see it. So
How madlips are supposed to go.
who wants to give me an adjective?
要干什么？
And you just call it out.
你自己写啊。你可以给他呀。Three 什么 pick？
Anybody want to share an adjective?
Three 什么 pick？
Wiggled.
Wiggled?
Weird.
Oh, weird? Oh, I like that one. All right. So then what about a verb? We could use the wiggle here.
Oh.
We need another verb.
Give her a word, like an actual word.
Wow.
Say it again. So a verb is something that you do.
Jump.
Okay. And how about a noun?
A tree.
Right. And we need another noun. And feel free, anybody can jump in. Say it again.
A fridge.
A what?
A fridge.
A fridge. It's gonna be a pretty funny story. And we need a third noun.
Earwax.
You're pretty silly. How about an adjective, a describing word?
Color. Yellow.
Okay.
Yellow.
How about another noun?
Teeth.
Teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about a verb?
That's not how it's supposed to go.
An action word.
Rock and roll.
Oh, did you say rocket?
Dance.
Dance? Okay. And then we need another verb. Another action word.
Jump. One. Chew.
Chew? How about a noun?
Are we done with the paper towels?
Yes, we are. Anybody want to give me a noun?
Feet.
All right, how about a verb, one of those action words?
Mommy, is a cat an action?
Something you do. Like or eating. What do you do?
Eating.
Okay, how about another verb, something that you do, one of those action verbs?
Swimming.
All right, how about a noun?
Cat.
Another noun?
Pigtails.
Did you say pigtails?
Yeah.
So I thought you said. All right, another noun?
Saw.
Saw. How about an adjective, a describing word?
What about your nose?
It has big eyes.
It has big eyes.
Big.
Okay, in the big. And then we need a
Yeah.
past tense verb. So something that you already have done. So like ran, jumped.
Jump.
Okay. So let's read this story. This sounds pretty good. Let me see if I can share it bigger. Here we go. All right. So it says, once upon a time, there were 3 weird pigs. One day their mother said, it's time to wiggle on your own. So they went off to jump their homes. The first built a house out of tree. The second built a house out of a fridge. And the third built a house out of earwax. They were very yellow. Then one day a wolf knocked on the first pig's teeth. Knock, knock, knock. Open up or I'll dance your house down. The pig didn't chew. So the wolf blew down the feet. The wolf knocked on the second little pig's door. Knock, knock, knock. Open up or I'll blow your eating down. The pig didn't swim. So the wolf blew down the cat. The wolf knocked on the third little pig's door. Knock, knock, knock. Open up or I'll blow your pigtails down. The pig didn't. But the wolf couldn't blow the saw down. So all the pigs went to live in the big house and they jumped happily ever after. That's a pretty silly story. I like it. So we have one more to do today. So this one is, we're going to talk about kind of fantasy and space. So while there's no hard line separating science fiction from fantasy, there are elements that may identify with each genre. So like elves and wizards are considered fantasy, outer space is considered science fiction. So we're going to do a Mad-Lib on whether or not you want to be an astronaut. So we need a verb ending in ing. Anybody want to share a verb ending in ing?
Laughing.
Okay. How about another verb? Doesn't have to be ing, but just another action verb.
Petting.
Pet, yes.
Pet.
Yeah.
Okay. How about a vehicle?
Garbage truck.
Okay, how about another verb?
Mm,
Another action word.
You do outside.
mm. Climbing.
Okay. How about a tool or a type of tool?
Hammer.
How about a noun?
Picture.
A color?
Pink. Pink.
Pink. An adjective, so a describing word?
Describe Sunny. What is he like?
Happy.
Good.
Okay. Another color?
Blue.
A number?
1 million.
1 million. It's a big number. A body part or body parts.
Eye.
Okay. Another body part.
Teeth.
Another verb. So another action word.
Dancing.
Good.
Another verb.
Hit.
Hit.
A vehicle.
Truck.
Oops, can't spell today. A place.
New York.
Woohoo!
And the last one is a verb.
Playing.
Okay, so let's see this one. So it says, I want to be an astronaut. Instead of laughing every day to an office, I want to pet to outer space on a garbage truck for my job. I'd climb science experiments using hammers and pictures and get to see pink holes and happy stars up close. Maybe I'd even get to meet an alien life form with blue skin and 1 million eyes and teeth. When it's time to dance to Earth, I'll hit in a truck and land safely in a New York, where friends and family will play me and welcome me home. I don't know, if I went to space in a garbage truck and I saw an alien with blue skin and 1 million eyes and teeth, I think I'd be a little scared. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'd be a little scared.
Speaking of space and garbage trucks, I saw a YouTube video that said, why don't people just dump their garbage in space?
Well, we don't want to dump our garbage in space.
Well, maybe Earth would have a ring like Saturn. Of garbage. The garbage ring.
That wouldn't be very good, though. Garbage isn't good to put out in space.
Maybe it could join the asteroid belt.
You could press
Maybe
She's in real life. See?
And who knows? Maybe garbage might actually be good for another planet that is not
Because
Earth.
maybe that was
usually she
research.
gets like it's a little glitchy. No face gets.
Definitely some science there. Some scientific stuff. You are experimenting. You're asking those what if questions. So I hope you guys had fun today. I know I did. And I thank you guys for joining me today and to help the prince rescue Rapunzel and create some pretty silly stories because I liked them. So this is it for today's, but we do have one last one on Wednesday, August 5th at 10:30, and it's part 3 and it's with Odysseus. So it's a myth. So I hope you guys had fun and hopefully I see you guys on Wednesday, August 5th. Have a good day.
Bye.
You have a good day too.
my tower is